Hey there, this is Daryl. I'm tying up those saltwater flies for the trip to Louisiana, but I'm going to concentrate on some flies for delayed harvest for cold water trout fishing. Sometimes a lot of these fish that we're fishing for in the delayed harvest are fish from hatcheries, and they really don't know what the real bugs are and stuff like that. So a lot of times what are effective flies for them is maybe junk flies, if you want to call them that. So the first fly we're going to tie is probably pretty simple. You're probably not going to want to, I don't know, you're probably not going to think too highly of me, but we're going to tie up some San Juan worms, and we'll explain the materials as you go along. And anyway, yeah, let's just see what we've got going on. We're going to tie two versions of the San Juan worm. This is probably the most familiar San Juan worm that we're going to tie. The others we're going to tie as a lute San Juan worm. And it just maybe gives a little bit more action in the water. And so we're going to tie both of these. I'm going to start tying is the traditional version. So why don't we go ahead and get started. The hook I'm going to use is a Nymph hook in TMC 3761. It's a 2x heavy and 1x long. You could also get by with maybe a standard Nymph hook. And we'll go ahead and put that in the vise. And I'm tying it in pink. I'm going to use some pink 70 Denier. And we're going to start that thread right back about an eye width behind there. And one good thing about these simple flies, I guess you want to call them that, is you can spend some time concentrating on your thread control. And so I like to give at least 2 layers here so that maybe it hides the hook shank a little bit underneath there. And on the standard one, I'm going to tie my material. It's going to be 2 3/8, and that it's a little long, but here's a piece of Chartreuse. The material I'm using is ultra Chenille from the bug shop, glowbugs.com. But what you're going to want to do is when you cut this material to the length that you want, in this case it's 2 3/8, you're going to want to singe the material so that it doesn't fray on there. And I'm not sure if you saw that. I'm going to do it one more time. Keep it moving so it doesn't go up in flames on there. And if you can't find that, ultra Chenille from Hairline is good. There's a worm brown standard. If you want to make some micro ones, you could go with the smaller diameter on there. And then I'm going to make sure I have an inch back this way, coming off the back of the fly. And it's a chance to try to learn the pinch wrap, even though, you might know how to do that, or if you're brand new. And then I'm just going to pull this back, and it kind of locks in a little bit. I don't put any glue on there, but you could if you wanted. And I've tied these in red, pink. I'm going to tie some in Chartreuse later. As you saw, I have that material out. And I'm going to put a little glue on my thread. Wrap that and then give it a whip finish, and we'll call that done. And just to make sure the eye is clear. In there. And there we have it. That's a standard regular San Juan worm in pink, or they call it shrimp pink according to the thing. We're going to put another hook in, and we'll show you how to do really quickly the loop. San Juan worm in the same color. Again, I got to debarb my hook. If you wanted to, you could add a little weight by tying in a bead head on these, but I usually put these along with a dropper type thing and get them down. Like I said, good way of learning some thread control. How to whip finish, you don't put too much material on. You know, sometimes these little simple flies are the ticket to help you teach your techniques. Now the material is, for the loop version, I cut about 3 inches. And again, it's about 1 inch hanging out the back. And if the fish aren't biting them, the good thing about having an inch either way is you could turn around and trim off. And cut them shorter. Sometimes the fish might like a shorter one. You can't add material to figure out what they want. So, you know, you make sure you have some scissors and a lighter so that you can singe the ends so they're not falling apart. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a butt here and just give it a little loop on there. And I'm pulling up on it to keep it on top of the hook. And building a head. And go ahead and put a little glue on there. and do a whip finish. That didn't work so well. We're going to go ahead and give it another whip finish, just in case. The glue might hold that, but who knows. Try that again, just to make sure it's secure. That was better. And there we have a loop style San Juan Worm. Great. These are both great patterns for delayed harvest, and I don't know, maybe even outside the delayed harvest. You know, sometimes when it rains, worms fall into the creeks or streams or the rivers, and the trout are gobbling up on those worms, and never know. All right, there it is. 2 patterns for delayed harvest. You know, that's sometimes those hatchery raised trout, they take a while to get used to real food like caddis and regular type nymphs. So sometimes an unusual type of worm like these, or maybe even eggs, Y2K, flashback type of nymphs that aren't natural looking, is the ticket for these hatchery raised fish. You know, even if you fish a place that's got pellet fed fish, maybe something that's brown in color, looks like that pellet that's being fed out there, maybe they'll take that. I would just give everything a try. I'm Daryl, and thanks for watching, and we will see you on the water.